Fan mail.
Fan mail. We got a couple things. First up, it's our first ever apology to the fans.
Whoa.
Yeah, I messed up, guys. For our diehard fans that understand our schedule and look forward to our weekly newsletter we call Logan's Letter every Friday. It didn't come this past Friday. You're not crazy. It did not come to your inbox. Here's the thing, guys. I'll always talk straight with you. Always talk straight to you two. Always talk straight to the listeners. I'm just going to be honest. This slipped through the cracks Friday. There are two sides, as you guys know, to this experiment that I'm doing right now, making our own podcast. And I also have some clients that I help grow their podcasts. There's two sides. But when I started this journey, I promised myself neither one can be having things slip through the cracks, especially not the show. And I just want to say I'm very sorry. It did not come, and because of that, you'll get an extra special Logan's Letter coming this Friday. So you get that by subscribing to the newsletter and a Patreon. You know, this is where I feel real bad. You know, the people paying for this exclusive content. I want you guys to know it's a personal apology, and I mean it. But at the end of the day, it's also a fan letter for a superhero podcast, but I take it seriously. And I'm not going to lie, I was pretty disappointed in myself. Andy, did you notice that it didn't come?
I knew I had a gaping hole in my weekend that I didn't even realize. Just kidding.
You're like, I was wondering why I was in such a bad mood. But you've texted me before. You're like, hey, you're like, oh, whenever it's come. You're like, I was waiting for this to pop across. And I'm like, you know what? I see people opening this thing. People do watch it, but I want you to know you weren't crazy. We did miss one, though.
You're pretty on the ball, though, about 1 o'clock, it seems like it goes out on Fridays.
Yeah, it's always usually around, by lunchtime. This is one of those days where I actually had 3 meetings. You talk about getting out and about. These were like in-person meetings for the first time in a few weeks. It's like people are ready to be like, hey, let's grab a beer at this place and have a touch base. It's like, oh, man, that's getting cool. New to me in the mix of like, oh, I got to wear jeans today. But I promise you guys, it is back. Logan's Letter isn't going anywhere, and we appreciate you guys understanding. I think we do because, we got good fans.
Yes, we do.
Had to throw that in there.
They're very understanding. None of them are mad at you. It's okay.
You don't think so? PC Mike's not really saying much. I feel like he's a little scorned. He's like, are we going to treat these listeners with respect, or are we going to just lie to their faces?
I'm actually on mostlysuperheroes.com looking at how great the Marvel Cinematic Universe looks on there.
Ooh, okay, I'll give it up for that. Yeah, maybe if you notice the newsletter didn't come, but you haven't been to the website, you'll see why we're so crazy over here. It does look pretty good, pretty fresh. Appreciate that, PC Mike.
It's clean.
Nice and clean. And we keep it pretty updated for you, too. Nice new stuff coming in. We're chopping up the clips. We're featuring them on the homepage. With that, let's talk about something that is featured on the website,